Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, Newsmax settled a lawsuit that had been filed by Dominion Voting Systems executive Dr. Eric Coomer, and they admitted that they lied about him on air, essentially. And this sent MyPillow QAnon loon, Mike Lindell, over the edge. Here's the deal. The right-wing propaganda site Newsmax, as well as others, defamed and blamed Coomer for months. They told their audience that he helped to rig the 2020 election for Biden. Even Eric Trump helped to elevate the lies about Coomer and Dominion by tweeting out voter fraud misinformation or disinformation along with a picture of Coomer. And in a nationally televised press conference, Trump's attorneys called Coomer, quote, a vicious, vicious man. And they falsely asserted that he is, quote, close to Antifa. So as a result of all of these blatant and egregious lies, unfortunately, Coomer and his family received tons of death threats and they were forced to go into hiding. It got really bad. So he filed a lawsuit against Newsmax and a host of other people who were all propagating these lies. Well, on Friday, Newsmax issued the following statement, quote, there are several facts that our viewers should be aware of. Newsmax has found no evidence that Dr. Coomer interfered with Dominion voting machines or voting software in any way, nor that Dr. Coomer ever claimed to have done so. Nor has Newsmax found any evidence that Dr. Coomer ever participated in any conversation with members of Antifa, nor that he was directly involved with any partisan political organization. That's a pretty full-throated retraction of their previous claims. Then Newsmax, also in this same statement, they admitted that there's no proof of widespread voter fraud. In their statement, they added, quote, many of the states whose results were contested by the Trump campaign after the November 2020 election have conducted extensive recounts and audits, and each of these states certified the results as legal and final. So they don't flat out say there's no evidence, but they do admit that, yeah, there were recounts and audits and the results were certified as legal. This propaganda outlet also apologized to Coomer and his family for any harm they may have caused. And in return, Coomer removed Newsmax from his lawsuit. And both parties have now said that the matter has been settled privately. So it's unknown if Coomer got anything out of it other than the retraction, if he maybe got some sort of financial compensation. Neither party wants to talk about it. However, the rest of his lawsuit will continue. The other people named in this lawsuit are QAnon freak attorney Sidney Powell, Rudy Tootie Giuliani, OAN, and the Trump campaign, and then two conservative podcast hosts. So they're all still named as defendants. If these remaining defendants had any brain cells in their heads, they do the same. They just admit to their lies, because think about it, their chances of winning just decrease substantially now that Newsmax copped to the lie. This could be why Mike Lindell is losing his shit. On Sunday, after news broke about Newsmax folding and saying, yeah, okay, we give up, this was all BS, Lindell went online and told his followers to boycott Newsmax because they finally dared to tell the truth. He said that they should only now watch OANN. They should only watch One American News Network, because he's also pissed at Fox. As you may or may not have heard, last month, Lindell also said that he's suspicious of Fox's behavior and that he's having investigators look into them because they've stopped asking him to appear as a guest on their shows. So he thinks that this is very suspicious behavior and, you know, they may be working with the deep state. So all of this after both Fox and Newsmax have bent over backwards for this guy. I mean, Newsmax even went out there and they pushed their viewers to buy his pillows back in February because Costco and Kohl's and other retailers were so upset about what happened on January 6th and the part that he played in it that they yanked his product from their shelves and they canceled contracts with him. So it cost him millions of dollars, and Newsmax stepped up for him and urged their viewers to go out and buy his products. So this is the thanks that they get, I guess. And as I'm sure you know, Lindell has been named himself in some pretty hefty Dominion lawsuits. This Newsmax retraction and apology makes his case much harder to win. I mean, he's fighting it by trying to hide behind the First Amendment. He's using that as a cover for his lies. I mean, it's odd that he would use freedom of speech to defend his dissemination of voter fraud fairy tales instead of trying to prove that the election was actually rigged. But okay, sure. I mean, you know, when I'm accused of lying, I don't try to prove that I'm telling the truth. I just say, oh, I had a right to say it. I had a right to say whatever I said because First Amendment. So, I mean, Lindell and others are going to have an uphill battle on their hands if too many defendants settle these cases. If others decide, hey, this isn't worth it, they're screwed. And if a supposed large news organization, and I say that with air quotes, filled with alleged journalists can't even find evidence of widespread voter fraud, then how the hell does a pillow manufacturer have access to such damning information? I mean, if he has it, surely he could share it with them, right? He couldn't share all of this evidence he has with Newsmax so they could present the evidence in court and win these lawsuits rather than settling them. I mean, I know they have his number. He's been on their show numerous times. And then what happens if One American News Network folds too? What happens if they decide, this isn't worth it? Where, oh, where will the Q crowd go? If OANN finally decides, hey, it might not be the best business decision to ignore reality and potentially lose hundreds of millions or maybe even $1 billion on a lawsuit. We already know they deleted voter fraud articles related to Smartmatic and Dominion from their website. They even removed all of the articles that talked about or were linked in any way to Sidney Powell and Giuliani and Lynn Wood. They removed all of this content all the way back in January after Dominion filed the lawsuit against Powell. So if you click on any of the links for any of these voter fraud conspiracy articles, you get a 404 page not found error code. Why would they do such a thing? I'm sure it was just an accident or a coincidence. Yeah, if I were Lindell or any of these other people, I would be a little bit more than nervous at this point, seeing that all of these large entities are just folding like cheap suits. All right, guys, if I hear any more, I'll let you know. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.